Your decisions at the new Star Wars theme parks will have consequences. It's crazy. Okay, so first let me describe, according to Gizmodo, during a panel at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando this weekend, it was revealed that the fully immersive theme park areas will allow visitors to develop a reputation. For example, also on Gizmodo, quote, if you ride the attraction that pits the First Order versus the Resistance, the side you pick will have ramifications throughout the park. Fly the Millennium Falcon in another ride, and depending on how well you do, maybe a bounty hunter will start hunting you. You may be asked to do tasks for one side or the other in a bar, and then it goes on and on to give other examples of how immersive the experience will be. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Star Wars meets Westworld.
Choose your own adventure.
Is there an opt-out?
Yes, Brent, sounds exhausting. I go to Disneyland to escape my decisions, to escape my consequences.
But this is not Disneyland, this is Star Wars land. And I think that they have to, they're trying to do something totally different. And I think that the rumor is that they're taking some lessons that they learned from Frontierland. Do you remember Frontierland? Right.
Yes.
And then they're gonna use that in Star Wars Land. I actually really like this because it has to be different. Star Wars Land, the anticipation here, the build up, the hype for this is so huge.
It's gonna make it just crowded as fuck. It's gonna be so crowded.
So then I would propose we limit the number of people allowed in per day.
I like that, Grace. I'm with that. I'm with you. I like it.
I think this idea is great. Again, I said choose your own adventure. You guys remember those books from the 80s? I had like hundreds of them.
Grace was in utero, not even, right? You were in like
she was in scrota.
You were a spermatozoa. It's scrota. But
you were just an egg.
I was a little.
You were a drunken evening with your parents.
In her.
But those books,
fallopian
tubes, Sam. Fallopian tubes. You're supposed to know this shit, Sam.
Yeah, but that's
But those books were great.
Is it wrong?
You were at the end. You were at the end of the fallopian. You were in the ovaries.
She was in the ovaries.
You were in some part of the male.
Go ahead.
But those books were great because you could, it would say, hey, if you want to go down this path, turn to page 4. Now, my history with Choose Your Own Adventure, I would always die or get eaten by some spider. But some alien acid would fall on my face in the book. But I think this is cool. I do think people will be stressed out because, okay, you have to make a decision. Well, if I do this, am I going to be like hounded by the Resistance? Or the First Order? It's very weird how they're going to do that. And also, how are they going to facilitate all these choices with all these different people?
They mentioned there might be like there's a band that they've been developing.
When you go to Disney World, they had been piloting the band for fast pass purposes. Like in LA, you still have to go put your card in, but it's a little thing and you just kind of scan it. And then you are assigned a thing. So it'll be pretty easy to do from a programming perspective to manage how far along you are because they are already monitoring who's in the park and who's not when you put your little.
Seems chaotic.
It's not. It's totally behind the scenes. And so what they do is they walk up to you, and then I'm sure they probably would scan it. My biggest fear is it's facial recognition, but if it's not, they scan your arm, and then it says like option 7, and then they just do it.
What if it fails? It's like the McArch burger at McDonald's. They test all these things and it fails miserably.
The Arch Deluxe.
Arch Deluxe, so gross. Ugh. I'm not a fan of Star Wars now. Because I feel like when you've been given the Disney treatment on Star Wars I love Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and the first Star Wars. Those were great back when Star Wars was this legendary. It's still legendary, people. But I feel when you give the Disney treatment to things, and they're making it they're very much more commercial than it was before. Because now there's a new Star Wars movie.
Sir, I respect that you think that, and I understand why. But the thing about Star Wars was the merchandise.
I get it. No,
it was all. And then look back at all the thermoses and the
lunch pails. I still have a tin lunch pail from the 80s. I do
for $1 billion.
And I have Christmas of '87. We got nothing but Return of the Jedi stuff. Me and my twin brother. Nice. I'm that old. But to me, I feel like Star Wars was held at this pedestal of just iconic, legendary cinema, and now it's everywhere. It just seems like
they're popping them out left and right.
Right, it's more watered down, and it's not as.
But like I liked Rogue One.
And that came out of nowhere. It was good. It was
an amazing thing because for once there were like real stakes to it because it was just this little story that existed in a vacuum. And none of these people had to survive, so you don't know who makes it and who doesn't.
Yeah, especially in the first episodes, there are a lot of things that they just sort of explain, like, and this is the way it is because of that. And then as time has gone on, we're like, wait, what happened there? How did they get the plans to the Death Star?
Well, we have
the trailer.
Should we move on to the trailer? Because I feel like that we still need to talk about that. So we do have the trailer for The Last Jedi. You may have seen it already, but if not, enjoy.
Light. Darkness. A balance. It's so much bigger.
I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end.
Not the Resistance.
Okay, so it's time for the Jedi to end. What did you guys think of the trailer?
Loved it. I mean, I'm ready. I get it. And
Me too.
if your criticism of the new ones is that they've done something different than the old ones, I do think that what is it, episode 7? No, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, episode 7 was kind of just a throwback to the old ones. It was that experience of like, we've got to blow up a space station and let's do it. So I hope that this one kind of builds on that and moves away in an impressive way. And one way to do that, like what I was hoping for when I heard Mark Hamill go, it's time for the Jedi 2. I was waiting for Return, but they're gonna end it. And so if they end it, that is a great way to kind of hit reset and start fresh and do something new and add stakes.
I think the movies are great. I think the movies are phenomenal. Even from when they started doing the episodes was back in 1999 with Natalie Portman as Queen Amidala.
I didn't like
truly
those.
hate those.
Really?
I tried to
I find them unwatchable.
My whole beef with Star Wars is, like I said earlier, that Disney is now making this a Star Wars land. I mean,
I can't wait. I know, I see where you're coming from. Like they're popping up left and right.
Don't cheapen the franchise.
Soon they'll be making like a Harry Potter world.
Or what?
I love Harry Potter world.
But it doesn't. I don't think it cheapens the franchise at all. I think this is sort of a natural next step for this franchise because it did create. There's so rarely do we have like an original idea for a movie where they create a whole entire world that you want to be a part of. The Cantina. You know, you think of Alderaan. You think of the Ewoks. Like they created these populations, these planets, this world that you want to see. And I think that if you're a fan of Star Wars, you kind of a little bit always hope that you could visit, you know, just maybe if it was in your dreams or playing pretend with my brother. Like that's why I love this coming out at Christmas because my brother and I have always gone to see the movies together, and we're gonna be together at Christmas, so we're gonna go do that. And so I'm excited for Star Wars because it's like playing pretend as grown-ups. I just hope that they do it well, and there's a lot of testing technology that's happening. So I hope that when they roll it out, it is cohesive and it is really tight and it works well.
And they've been doing since Harry Potter World. Whatever, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter open, that is a more immersive experience where there's also it's not, that area is not necessarily only about the rides the way my experience with Disneyland has been over the years. It's like Space Mountain, and we hit Thunder Mountain, and then we go to California Adventure and do California Screamin'.
I've done
all
Disneyland
the rides.
with Brett. He has it all organized. It's fun.
I've never been to Disneyland.
You gotta go.
Oh my God, you gotta go. I love it.
You gotta go, but this Harry Potter world is this immersive experience where like you go get a wand and it's like a mini show, and it doesn't feel like you're walking into this giant amphitheater. They have little experiences nested throughout, and it's more immersive, and I think that's what they're trying to do with this. And then they open Avatar World in Florida.
I do like the immersive experience. I'm just gonna have to be prepped for it. I'm gonna have to like prep my mind for it.
And prep Sophie for it too.
So I can't wait to take Sophie to Disneyland. I can't wait.
She'll be 6 months if you go in December.
Oh my gosh, that'll just be more for me. I think right around 2, I went with my niece. I know,
Kids
up until
are free till they're 2.
I know, I go with my niece, and I remember like we went a few times before she turned 2, and then right when she turned 2, like it all clicked. And she saw Mickey, and she went, Mickey! She was like a fangirl. I'm like, oh my God, Monica, my sister's name is Monica, I said, you have a future fangirl. Because she was like crying, screaming Mickey, and it was so
like,
cute.
Oh Mickey, you so fine.
You so fine, you blow my mind, hey Mickey, bum bum bum, hey Mickey, bum bum bum. Oh my God. Okay, but really quickly, also exciting is, a lot of people were wondering the involvement of Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher. So according to Kathleen Kennedy, she confirmed on Friday that she is in The Last Jedi. So we will see Carrie Fisher for the last time in The Last Jedi.
She is?
She is in it. Yeah, they had enough. They had her in quite a bit of it, and then they had some leftover footage, and they were able to incorporate that. Now, as far as the following film that we're not expecting for a couple years, episode 9, she's not in that one. And according to, it says right here, again from Kathleen Kennedy, she's the president of Lucasfilm. She said, by the time Fisher passed away, Kennedy explains, we were well underway with episode 9 in our thoughts, but the script had yet to be written. After Fisher's death, we regrouped, we started over in January, and they had to regroup and redo the script without Fisher. So you won't see her in episode 9, but you will see her for the last time as Princess Leia in The Last Jedi. So that'll be emotional too. Okay, so please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.